Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can get your driveway from looking like this to looking like this, nice and clean. So stay tuned. You how you can make your pavers look a lot nicer. Right now they look pretty bad, as you can see. I have some weed that is growing in, and the best way to get rid of weed and the cheapest way to get rid of weed is by spraying some gasoline. Believe it or not, but gasoline is the cheapest way. You can buy a gallon for just $2, $3, and just put in a spray and spray it, and this thing really kills the weed. One thing for you to do to make it look nice is to do pressure wash. So if you don't have a strong pressure wash, hire somebody to get all the gunk that you see remove, because once they pressure wash, now before you do the pressure wash, you really need to kill all the weeds, all this weed that is growing. If you don't kill the weed and get the pressure wash done and then try to kill the weed, it's not going to be as effective. So kill the weed, make sure it's nice and dry, and when the pressure cleaning guys come out and then they apply pressure, all that dry stuff just comes out very easy, but the greenest stuff does not come off that easy. So again, treat and kill it with the gasoline at least about, I would say, 10 to 15 days before you're planning on getting the pressure cleaning done. So I have my guys scheduled for pressure cleaning, but before that I'm gonna treat all this, kill it, and wait about 10 days, when I see it dry and dead, and then I'm gonna call my pressure cleaning guy. So we'll continue the video. Okay, so right now it's been about 15-20 days, and as you can see, the guys came in. They did not clean this part. My association does that, but they did a pretty good job in cleaning all this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how you can maintain it so the weed does not grow, and to prevent that from happening. So this is the paver sand that you can pick up from your local hardware store. Home Depot, Lowe's carry them as well. So this kind of tells you how much you're going to need. You may want to measure your area, and it'll kind of give you an idea how many bags you're going to need. So I grabbed a couple of bags, and what we're going to do is we're going to spray this. You can just lay it out all at one place and just kind of spread it. So there are different types of sand, different colors. This is more of a, I'll show you this. I love the sand. Now, one thing I do want to warn you, once you pick this sand up, it might be like this. Might be wet, and it may or may not have weeds in there, so you may want to look out for these things. If it's wet and soggy, and it may have some roots and stuff already in there, because that tells me that it's been sitting out for a long time. It's not fresh sand, so you may want to wipe this. You may want to look for clean sand like this, because once you have clean sand like this, it will penetrate inside a lot easier. So you can see, once you pour this in, it kind of goes in, it kind of works like a hourglass, and just fill in all the crevices. Versus the wet sand that you have, it's going to stick up, it's not going to go in, it's going to make you seem like it's filling in, but if you move it, it's going to have a lot of empty spaces in the middle. So you may want to avoid that. If you do have wet sand and it's clean, there's nothing in there, you may want to just leave it out there and let it dry in the sun, because once it's dried up, then it kind of acts like the same. So here's an example. I had this sand, it was quite wet, and then I let it dry. So now it's drying up pretty good, and over here it's pretty much all dry, so you can see the dried up sand is a lot more small particles. So just wait for it to dry out, spread it out, and if it's sunny, it's gonna dry out pretty good. So the first thing you need to do is just pour the sand out. If it's not dry, if you leave it in a pile, it may take forever to dry, so you may want to spread it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to spread it much more easier. And I can almost guarantee you, I mean, if it's sitting outside at Lowe's or Home Depot, it's going to be wet like this. So in a little bit you're going to see it coming dry, like just like that. You may want to be careful if it's too windy out there. You may start to take the sand with it. So just be smart about it, you know. Okay, so we can just wait for it to dry out. So now we're gonna brush in the dry sand, and the way you do it is basically just take a big brush, broom like this, you know, and just keep just moving on, you know, and you can just keep spreading it, and you'll see. Now a little bit weed that you may see, you know, it's okay, you can pull those off, but once you treat it with the sand, it's going to prevent the additional growth of the weed. It'll save you a lot of headache. I do have some weed I plan to treat later on. It's not a whole lot. If you have a lot, then you may want to not do this. So all you need to do is just keep brushing it and take the remaining sand to the other areas which are not treated. Make sure just keep going back and forth. So if you miss a spot, you know, the brush bristles will kind of like cover it. At the edges, you may want to be a little careful so you don't end up losing the sand on the corners. So I'm going to go ahead and brush it. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand, so let me go ahead and keep brushing this all across, and then I'll show you the final product. Okay, so this is the final product. As you can see, it came out really nice. I still have to brush off a little bit over here. Now another thing you can do is just take a hose and just hose down the water on top of the sand so it settles in, and if you see any spots, you can always add some more sand on there and fill it in. So hopefully it helps you guys fix your driveway. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment below, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.